Kevinisomoto says welcome to the vlog.
Hello my friends, it is year 13, week number 647. Solo date number 10. I know for myself, I struggle with doing certain activities when I'm by myself, just because there's like the feeling of being self-conscious when you're in public doing an activity, whatever it happens to be. And so we started doing solo dates last year whenever we had free time. I have this list of ideas of things that I want to try out around the city. And when we have free time, I choose something off of the list and then we go on a solo date together. I learned about this through a TikTok video that I found where this girl was new to her city, didn't have a lot of friends, but still wanted to go out and challenge herself to do things alone. The whole idea behind it is basically, even if you don't have a significant other or you don't have a friend group, you can still go out and do things purely for the enjoyment of doing things for yourself. She's explaining how there's like levels 1 through 5. So like level 1 are things that are like very basic, very easy for you to kind of do on your own. You know, there's like nothing too challenging about it. For example, an example of this could be like, going to a museum is a level 1. Like that's a very basic thing that I would feel very comfortable doing solo. But as you can imagine, a level 2 might be like going to a bar by myself. Like still fairly easy, but it's a little more awkward if you don't go with like a friend or a group of friends or whatever. Just depending on your level of what you're comfortable with, these things kind of vary person to person. So like a level 1 to me might be a level 3 to someone else, and then a 3 to someone else might be like my level 4 or 5 or something like that. So this museum today is called Fotografiska. It's there's like an original one that's in Sweden, and then they have a New York City location. So that's where we're headed to right now here. This year marks the 50th year anniversary of the start of hip-hop music as a genre. And so they created this whole exhibit around hip-hop culture, the music, the style, everything that kind of associated with hip-hop and how it's evolved over the years and kind of shaped culture in present day. This is what we're here to see. This just opened kind of at the tail end of last month, so it's still like a fairly new exhibit that's going on here. They broke out the decades of hip-hop music by level of museum. So when you go to the top level and you work your way down, it kind of like starts from the earliest days of hip hop, and then as you descend the levels, it kind of like becomes more and more modern. And then it ends with like a present day section where it's like music that's very popular right now. Something that I thought was really interesting was they did a really good job with playing with the music that you're hearing as you're walking through the exhibit. So whatever era of photography you were looking at, the music that you were hearing was also corresponding with that time period. Okay, and then after the museum, I went down to the bottom floor, and I gotta be honest with you, we talk about how with solo dating, sometimes it can be challenging depending on what the activity is. This part right here was very much out of my comfort zone. Okay, I just finished up with the exhibit part. They have like a gift shop slash like cocktail bar downstairs. And I'm now getting a drink and going to sit down at one of these tables and have the drink here. I don't know what it is about me sitting alone inside of like a fancy cocktail bar, but it's just something that I do not do ever, and it's very uncomfortable. And I know that it's like lots of people go to bars by themselves and drink drinks. It's very normal, but for me personally, this is definitely one of those social activities that I find challenging to do by myself. I sat there for probably like maybe half an hour to an hour. Oh, and the other thing too is like, I always think it's really funny when you do these things because a lot of times, well, for myself, you retreat to your phone a lot of times, or I retreat to my camera, and I try to occupy myself by being on my phone or whatever, or like if you have a book, reading a book, right? I think the true challenge of doing something like this is going there, doing the whole drink thing, sitting by yourself, and just literally sitting there by yourself. I think that is the challenge. Not pulling out the phone, not pulling out the book, whatever it is that you would do to kind of like busy yourself. The true challenge of this is going in there alone, getting the drink, and just sitting there with your own self. Just sitting there with nothing but you and your drink. You guys want a photo together?
Oh, that's great.
Is it okay? All right. Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for watching this week. This has been year 13, week number 647, solo date number 10. Next week will be week number 648.